If you are watching this right now, pause for just a moment because what you are about to hear was not an accident. You did not stumble onto this video by chance. Something pulled you here. Something whispered in the quiet corners of your spirit that today would be different. And it will be. Because today, the angels are not simply sending a gentle reminder or a soft nudge of comfort. Today, they are warning you. They are warning you because they are about to risk everything for you, and they need you to be ready to receive it. There is a difference between a message and a warning. A message comforts, a warning prepares. And what is coming for you now requires preparation. Because the angels who walk beside you, who have walked beside you since before you took your first breath, are stepping out of the shadows of the unseen and into the light of your life in a way they rarely do. They're about to risk their own divine order, bend the rules of timing, and pour themselves fully into the path that lies ahead of you, because your soul has reached a threshold. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, and they will not let you cross it alone. Think about every time in your life when something happened just in time, the phone call that came right when you needed it, the stranger who said exactly the right words, the job that fell through, only for a better one to appear weeks later, the heartbreak that at the time felt like the end of you, but turned out to be the very thing that saved you from a future that was never meant for you. Those were not coincidences. Those were angels, quietly rearranging the pieces of your life behind the scenes, protecting you from dangers you never even saw, and guiding you toward a destiny you could not yet imagine. But what is happening now is different. This is not a quiet rearrangement. This is a moment where they are willing to risk everything because the stakes for your soul have never been higher. You may be feeling it already. A restlessness in your chest that has no name. A sense that something inside you is shifting, cracking open, like a seed finally breaking through the hard shell that once protected it. You may have been crying more than usual, or feeling strangely emotional over small things, things that never used to touch you so deeply. You may have noticed numbers repeating before your eyes, the same time on the clock, the same sequence on a license plate, the same pattern in your dreams. These are not random. These are the fingerprints of beings who love you so deeply that they are willing to bend the natural order just to reach you, just to make sure you do not miss this moment. Because here is the truth the angels want you to understand right now, in this very instant. Your life has reached a sacred crossroads. And at this crossroads, there are two paths. One path is the path of staying small, staying afraid, staying in the same patterns of doubt and self-protection that have kept you safe but unfulfilled for so long. The other path is the path of becoming who you were truly created to be. A path so bright, so abundant, so aligned with your soul's purpose, that it terrifies the parts of you that have only ever known struggle. The angels see both paths laid out before you, and they are doing something extraordinary. They are risking their own divine timing to nudge you, again and again, toward the path of light, even if it means breaking patterns that have existed in the spiritual realm for far longer than you can comprehend. You see, angels do not usually interfere directly. Their role in most of your life has been to guide gently, to plant seeds of intuition, to send subtle signs you can choose to notice or ignore. Free will is sacred, and they honor it completely. But every so often, in rare and precious moments, a soul reaches a point so important, so pivotal to the unfolding of their highest destiny, that the angels are given permission to do more, to push a little harder, to send sign after sign until you cannot possibly miss it, to orchestrate moments of divine timing so precise that even the most skeptical heart begins to wonder if there is something more at work in this world. This is one of those moments, and it is happening to you right now while you watch this. Let me ask you something gently, the way the angels would ask. Have you been feeling like you are on the verge of a breakthrough, yet so close to giving up at the very same time? Have you found yourself praying more, even if you do not call it prayer, even if it is just whispered words into the dark, asking for help, for relief, for a sign that you are not forgotten? Have you felt an ache in your heart that says, I know I am meant for more than this, but I do not know how to get there? If any of this resonates with you, take a breath, because the angels want you to know this clearly. You are not forgotten. You were never forgotten. And the very fact that you are exhausted from carrying so much alone is exactly why they are stepping in now, more boldly than ever before. There is a story, one that echoes in different forms across every soul's journey, about a woman who felt invisible for years. She gave everything she had to everyone around her, her family, her work, her responsibilities, until there was almost nothing left of herself to give. She used to lie awake at night wondering if her life would always feel this heavy, if joy was something reserved for other people, people who seemed to have it easier, people who seemed chosen for happiness in a way she was not. She did not know that every single night, as she cried quietly so no one would hear, there were beings of light surrounding her, holding her, weeping with her, and whispering promises she could not yet hear but would soon feel in her bones. She did not know that her breaking point was not the end of her story, but the very beginning of her transformation. And one day, almost suddenly, her life began to change. Doors opened that had been locked for years. People she needed showed up out of nowhere. Old wounds that had defined her for so long began to heal gently, in ways she could not explain. She did not become someone new. She became, for the first time, fully herself, the self that had been waiting patiently beneath all of the pain, waiting for permission to emerge. That permission is being given to you right now. The angels want you to know that what you have survived was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. Every tear you have cried, every night you spent wondering if you mattered, every moment you held yourself together when it felt like everything was falling apart, all of it was witnessed. None of it was wasted. And now, because you have endured so much with a heart that still chose love over bitterness, still chose hope over despair, even in your darkest hours, you have earned something sacred. You have earned this moment of divine intervention. You have earned the kind of help that does not just whisper from a distance, but steps boldly into your life and says, "Enough waiting, enough struggling alone. It is time." This is why they are warning you. Because when help this powerful arrives, your life will not stay the same. You will be asked to release things you have outgrown, relationships that have drained you, beliefs that have kept you small, fears that have convinced you that you are not worthy of the very things your soul has been crying out for. This release can feel frightening at first, even painful, because the human heart clings to what is familiar, even when what is familiar is what has been hurting it. But the angels need you to trust that every door closing now is closing, so that something far greater can open. They are not taking things away from you out of cruelty. They are clearing space, lovingly and deliberately, for the life you were always meant to have. You might feel, in the coming days, a strange pull toward solitude, a need to be quiet, to listen, to pray, to simply sit with yourself in stillness. Do not resist this. This is the angels asking for your attention, gently guiding you inward so they can speak to you more clearly. The noise of the world has a way of drowning out the whispers of the divine, and right now, what they have to say to you is too important to be missed. So if you feel called to turn off the television, to put down your phone, to sit somewhere quiet with your eyes closed and your heart open, honor that feeling. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. And here is something the angels want you to understand about the word risk, because it matters more than you realize. When they say they are about to risk everything for you, they do not mean it lightly. In the spiritual realm, there is a kind of balance, a kind of order that exists for a reason. Angels are not meant to override your free will, and they are not meant to force outcomes onto your path. But there are sacred exceptions, moments where the love that the divine holds for a soul becomes so strong that it bends the rules just slightly, just enough to make sure that soul does not miss its calling. This is one of those exceptions. They are bending the order of things for you. They are spending their energy, their light, their divine effort in ways that are not ordinary. Because your story matters too much to be left to chance any longer, think about what it means for a being of pure light, with no body, no human fear, no need for rest, to choose to focus so intensely on one single life, one single heart, one single soul struggling through the ordinary chaos of being human. They could be anywhere. They could be tending to countless other souls across the unseen tapestry of existence. And yet, right now, in this very moment, a part of their attention, their love, their protective energy is wrapped entirely around you. Not because you are perfect, not because you have never doubted, never sinned, never made a mistake, but because you are theirs to protect, and they take that responsibility as seriously as anything in existence. There may be a specific area of your life that has felt impossible lately. Perhaps it is love, and you have spent so long wondering if you are meant to be alone, if the right person will ever truly see you, truly choose you, truly stay. Perhaps it is your finances, and you have lain awake calculating bills, wondering how you will make it through another month, feeling the crushing weight of scarcity pressing down on your chest. Perhaps it is your health, and your body has been speaking to you in ways that frighten you, reminding you of your own fragility, your own mortality. Or perhaps it is something quieter than any of these, a deep loneliness that has nothing to do with being surrounded by people and everything to do with feeling unseen, unheard, unknown by anyone, even those closest to you. Whatever it is, hear this clearly. The angels see it. They have always seen it. And they are not waiting for you to fix it on your own before they help you. They are not waiting for you to become stronger, braver, more deserving. You are already enough. You have been enough this entire time. What is changing now is not your worthiness, because that was never in question. What is changing now is the intensity of their intervention, because your soul has reached the point where staying silent on their part would mean letting you suffer longer than necessary, and they refuse to let that happen any longer. There is an old truth, whispered in different ways across nearly every spiritual tradition that has ever existed, that says no soul is ever truly alone, even in its darkest hour. You may have felt abandoned at times. You may have screamed into empty rooms, wondering why no one was listening, why prayers seemed to vanish into silence, why your pain seemed to echo back at you with no answer. But silence does not mean absence. Sometimes the deepest love moves in ways too vast for human senses to detect in the moment, only to be understood much later, when you look back at your life and finally see the pattern, the protection, the guidance that was there the entire time, hidden just beyond what you could perceive. This is why the angels want you to begin paying closer attention now, because the signs are about to intensify. You may start noticing feathers appearing in unexpected places, even where it makes no logical sense for a feather to be. You may glance at a clock and see the same repeating numbers again and again, 1111, 444, 222, as though the universe itself is trying to get your attention through the language of numbers, because words alone are not enough. You may hear a song on the radio that feels like it was written specifically about your life at the exact moment you needed to hear it. You may meet someone new who feels strangely familiar, as though your soul recognized theirs from somewhere beyond this lifetime. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. They are confirmations, gentle but unmistakable, that you are being guided, watched over, and prepared for something significant. Preparation matters here, because what is coming will require you to show up differently than you have before. The angels are not simply going to hand you a finished outcome and expect you to remain unchanged. Growth requires participation. They will open doors, but you will have to choose to walk through them. They will send people, but you will have to choose to trust again, even after being hurt. They will whisper opportunities into your awareness, but you will have to choose courage over comfort, faith over fear, even when every instinct in your body wants to retreat back into what feels safe and familiar. This is the sacred partnership between the divine and the human heart. They risk for you, and in return, you are asked to rise for yourself. There is no need to feel pressure in this, no need to feel as though you must perform perfectly or transform overnight. Healing and growth are rarely linear. You will have days where you feel strong, aligned, certain that everything is finally falling into place, and you will have days where old fears creep back in, where you wonder if any of this is real, where you feel tempted to fall back into old patterns simply because they are familiar. The angels do not expect perfection from you. They expect willingness. A willing heart, even a frightened one, is enough for them to work with. A heart that says, I am scared, but I am still choosing to hope, is exactly the kind of heart that miracles are built around. If you find yourself crying as you listen to this, let those tears fall freely, because tears are often the body's way of releasing what words cannot express. You may be grieving a version of yourself that you are finally ready to let go of. The version that believed she was not enough, that believed love had to be earned through suffering, that believed rest was something to feel guilty about. Let her go gently, with gratitude for how hard she fought to keep you alive through everything you have endured. And welcome, with open arms, the version of yourself that is emerging now, softer in some ways, stronger in others, finally aligned with the truth that you are always worthy of peace, of love, of abundance, simply because you exist, simply because you are a soul cherished by forces far greater than you have ever fully understood. As this message comes to a close, know that this was not random. You were meant to hear these words today, in this exact moment of your life, because the angels have been waiting for the right time to reach you, and that time is now. They are stepping closer than they ever have before, willing to risk the careful balance of the unseen world, because your soul's awakening matters more to them than maintaining quiet distance ever could. Trust the signs that come after this. Trust the doors that open and the ones that close. Trust the people who suddenly appear and the ones who quietly fade away, because all of it is part of a plan far wiser and far more loving than anything your fear could ever construct. You are not alone. You were never alone. And from this moment forward, carry this truth with you like a quiet flame in your chest. Heaven itself is rearranging the pieces of your life, risking everything, just to bring you home to the person you were always meant to become. Walk forward without fear, because the light that guides you has never once let go of your hand, and it never will.